Still working on it. Senators held a rare meeting on Sunday on border security. They did not reach a deal in exchange for more aid for Ukraine. Meanwhile, the live look in Eagle Pass tells you that this issue is not going away. In fact, it could get more heated come election year time. James Lankford is the top Republican negotiator. Senator, good morning to you, and thank you for your time. It's complex. I think last week you said you look at one issue and there's 100 others underneath it. Just characterize for our audience how you see your measure of negotiation thus far.
Yeah, we are making real progress on this. We finally have everybody at the table and everyone admitting that this is a national security crisis that we do have to address. That's actually progress that may seem shocking to a lot of viewers, but that's taken a long time to be able to get to this point, especially thinking about we had the highest September in history, the highest October in history, the highest November in history, and this will be the highest December in history of any crossings of any time on our southwest border. So it is absolutely spiraling out of control, as you've highlighted over and over again. So our focus has been on how to get this back under control. That's setting caps and limits. That's actually dealing with how we process asylum, that we're not just releasing people to be able to do asylum later. They've got to actually do the qualification right there and to be able to turn around people that don't qualify. That's the way to be able to get this under control. We all know it. It's just getting common agreement on it.
Okay, I just wonder how many Democrats will sign on to that. Here's what I'm thinking, right? I mean, Joe Biden's under pressure from the left. The open borders policy is something that he essentially supports. We've watched that for 3 years. I don't think you disagree with that, in fact. The left has never liked the wall. Meanwhile, Republicans say the wall is where you need to start. And if you're that far apart in an election year, will anything be solved in 2024?
Yeah, it has to be at this point. It's reaching such a large volume that even those on the left are stepping out. The interesting thing is this issue is only political in Washington, D.C. Everywhere else in the country, this is not a political issue. Everyone sees it for what it is. This is a national security issue, and no one can look at what's happening on the border right now of 100 to 1 of agents to people coming across the border, think that is actually good for the country, that's safe for those agents, and that's a situation that's sustainable. So whether you're in Chicago or in New York City, or whether you are anywhere else in the country, you look at this problem and understand this is absolutely spiraling out of control. We're just literally trying to be able to say to Democrats, listen, this has to be solved. You don't want to solve it. We're going to actually push to get this solved. It'll be politically beneficial for Democrats to get this solved, to take this issue off the table, but it's best for national security to actually get this solved.
But this administration has already shown its hand repeatedly. Right, it sued Texas to get the floating barriers out of the river. It sued Arizona to get the shipping containers removed a year ago. You just said even the left is stepping out. What does that mean, and who?
Yeah, so you've got the far left that they're absolutely for open borders. They don't want to see any limitations at all in this, but you've got a significant number of Democrats that are also coming on board. As you see in all the national polls now, the number one issue in the country is the economy. The number two issue in the country is illegal immigration. That's across Republicans and Democrats alike, where they see this as a major issue that has to be resolved. So there are more and more Democrats that are coming on board saying, I may not like the solutions, but we've got to actually do something to be able to solve this. We're trying to pull that group of Democrats in to say, come on, let's actually solve this issue on this and to be able to protect the nation.
Clearly, it's going into January. We can say that, right? We can say that much for now?
It clearly is going to January. Yes, we absolutely can.
We shall talk in January, and we'll see whether or not you've been able to roll that boulder further up the hill. Thank you, sir, for your time, and have a great holiday when you get it, okay?
Thank you.
James Lankford.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, thank you for your time today. Dana.